Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into why many people believe Donald Trump has been a great leader for America. Now, I know this is a topic that can get people fired up, and that's okay. Whether you're a supporter or just curious about the perspective, stick around. This is going to be an interesting conversation. First, let's address the elephant, or should I say, the donkey, in the room. The mainstream media will tell you that Donald Trump was an economic disaster. They'll point to the national debt, the trade deficit, and scream about the evils of tariffs. But here's the inconvenient truth they don't want you to know. Before the pandemic hit, the American economy was roaring under President Trump. We saw record low unemployment numbers, particularly for demographics that have historically struggled in the job market. African Americans, Hispanic Americans, women, all reached record low unemployment rates under the Trump administration, and let's not forget the booming stock market. 401ks were flourishing. People were feeling good about their financial futures. Now you can argue that the pandemic tanked the economy, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. But you also can't ignore the pre-pandemic economic success story that was the Trump presidency. Now, how did this happen? Was it magic? Was it some sort of economic voodoo? No, it was the result of common sense pro-growth policies, tax cuts, deregulation. These things unleashed the power of the American economy. Businesses were free to grow, to hire, to invest in the future. And when businesses succeed, guess what? Americans succeed. And let's not forget about Trump's signature issue trade. For decades, our politicians let China walk all over us, stealing our jobs and our intellectual property. Trump said, enough is enough. He stood up to China, renegotiated trade deals like NAFTA, and put America first. Were there trade wars? Sure. But sometimes you have to fight fire with fire to get a fair deal for the American worker. Now let's talk foreign policy. The mainstream media, again, will tell you that Trump was an isolationist, that he alienated our allies and made America weak. But let's look at the facts. Trump pulled us out of the disastrous Iran nuclear deal, a deal that funneled billions of dollars to a regime that chants death to America. He recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, a move long overdue, and perhaps most significantly, he brokered the Abraham Accords, normalizing relations between Israel and several Arab nations. This was a historic achievement, a major step towards peace in the Middle East, something previous administrations could only dream of achieving. And what about NATO? The media loves to say that Trump weakened the alliance, but what did he actually do? He demanded that our NATO allies pay their fair share. For years, the United States has been carrying the financial burden of defending Europe. Trump said no more. He demanded that our allies contribute more to their own defense, and guess what? They started to listen. Trump understood that strength deters aggression. He rebuilt our military, which had been decimated under the Obama administration. He made it clear that the United States would not be pushed around. That's not warmongering, that's peace through strength. Chapter 3. The Anti-Establishment President. Let's talk about something the media hates. Trump's connection with the American people. They called him a populist, a demagogue, but what they really meant was that he spoke directly to the people, bypassing the media gatekeepers. He understood the frustrations of everyday Americans, the people who felt ignored by the political elite. He spoke their language, he shared their concerns, and he promised to fight for them. And fight he did. He took on the swamp, the entrenched bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. He challenged the status quo, the way things had always been done. Was he always politically correct? No. Did he sometimes offend people? Absolutely. But he was authentic. He was real. And in an age of carefully crafted political personas, that resonated with millions of Americans. Trump showed that you don't need to be a career politician to be a successful leader. You don't need to be polished. You don't need to be part of the club. You just need to be willing to fight for what you believe in and to connect with the people you represent. Chapter 4. Reshaping the Judiciary, a Legacy for Generations. Now let's talk about one of the most enduring legacies of the Trump presidency, his impact on the judiciary. For decades, the left has been slowly but surely pushing the courts in a more activist direction, using judicial appointments to advance their agenda. Trump understood the importance of the courts, and he made it a priority to appoint judges who would interpret the Constitution as it was written, not as they wished it to be. He appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. These are brilliant legal minds committed to upholding the rule of law, and they will be shaping the legal landscape for generations to come. But it wasn't just the Supreme Court. Trump appointed hundreds of federal judges, men and women, who believe in originalism, in judicial restraint. This is a legacy that will outlast his presidency, a legacy that will continue to have a profound impact on American law and society. Outro: the Trump legacy. Whether you agree with all of his policies or not, there's no denying that Donald Trump left a lasting mark on America. From economic growth to reshaping the judiciary, his leadership style sparked conversations that will influence the country for years to come. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more discussions like this. Until next time, take care.